Welcome to the podcast of Wake Up Church. We've been asleep for too long. This is your host, Dr. Rosalind Best. This podcast is being brought to you by bestlegacyfoundation.org. Please visit the website for opportunities to leave a lasting legacy in the earth. Today's topic is a 6-pod series entitled, God is a Lot of Things, but confused ain't one of them. Let's understand one thing very clearly. God is a lot of things, but confusion isn't one of them. As we say in the South, it ain't one of them. Satan is the author of confusion. He generates everything that takes attention away from clarity and the purpose of God. Masculinity has been under direct attack for quite some time, and femininity is confused empowerment, as if a woman and a man are equal in the sense of their orientation, identification. God did what he did on purpose in the book of beginnings. He made sure he created a man, and from that man he derived a woman, in order that the two shall become one. And so what we have is a disbursement of media on every opportunity to feed our children, the next generation, this sense of gender bending. You are a male or you are a female, but mankind has created his own alternative genders, just like someone we know generated his own alternative facts. You have created your own alternative genders with no connection to God, the one and only creator of life. Unfortunately, this is embracing doctrines of devils. Demons are evil. They have names and they have specific agendas to disperse and attack and destroy the true identity of God's creations, which are humans. God is a lot of things, but confused ain't one of them. This is the first of 6 podcasts that will explain demonic forces that are highly active in the universe and are casting spells. We are casting spells with our words. Bruce Lee gave a powerful narrative explaining that be careful of the words that come out of your mouth, because he calls it spelling, casting a spell with your words. So don't make fun of yourself. Don't make fun of other people in positions where I'm not saying don't laugh at things that aren't funny, but we have to be careful what we are calling our friends and calling ourselves, because we are casting that spell on ourselves. This Sunday, I'm going to talk to you about the spirit of the bitch. You heard me. There is an evil spirit that is a witch spirit, but she's known as the spirit of the bitch. They're interchangeable, witch and bitch. So if we called a thing, as a Iyanla Vanzant can say, call a thing. What you're calling a bitch, you're really calling a witch. You such a nasty witch. You crazy witch. You evil witch. You nasty witch. But we think calling someone the B word is acceptable. And you don't realize you've got the power in the life and death that's in your tongue to cast a spell on that person. Let me define what it is, and let me explain to you how the spirit spoke to me. The evil spirit spoke to me. The spirit of the bitch, you can Google it, and it says, devil from hell. And there she is, the picture. Now, she has been used in music repetitively because her nature is to make low, repetitive noises, things over and over again, even holy noises. She goes on within the church. Let me read to you the lyrics from one of his name is Charlie Low Noise and Mental Theos. This is a song they wrote. I found a love, but it didn't last. Wonderful days belong to the past. I don't know where I stand, what I'm to do. Tried to forget, I find someone new. So I prayed on my knees to heaven above. Send me somebody, please someone to love. Let them into my story. Give me your hands. Don't let me down with a heart to be damned. That's the lyrics sung throughout this song repetitively. The line that got my attention was the one that says, don't let me down with a heart to be damned. I found love, but it didn't last. If we're singing the lyrics to that, no wonder this generation, and I'm not saying that's the only reason, but it attributed to the declarations that we sing in lyrics and words that come out of our mouth. I was teaching a combined EBD class, 4th and 5th grade, and I had a student who, unfortunately, he is the nephew to 2 transgender men. And these men, live with his grandmother, and he would spend time with them. And I'm not sure where this child was enabled or exposed to this demonic force, but he conducted himself very feminine. And a lot of the adults, even so-called Christians, started making verbal demonic connotations. This little boy is going to be gay. This little boy he's going to be a queer. He's going to be a fag. And I said, don't you speak that over that child's life. You don't have that authority. You're a Christian. Speak life over him. He shall walk in his true identity. Say something. They looked at me like I was rubbish, foolishness. I said, wow, they have a lot of nerve to speak evil, but they claim to be Christians. We have to be careful what cast we are spelling out of our mouth with our lips, because it does affect life and death is in the power of your tongue. So while I was teaching class, this little boy for several days would start this, and I would say, stop it, stop the noise. He would sit back and he would do it again. Day 1, day 2. To finally I realized I'm dealing with a demonic spirit. Now, I didn't say it in front of my class, but I walked near him and I said, Spirit, what is your name? He looked at me. I walked away and he said, I'm the spirit of the bitch. The other students, oh, he said he's a bitch. Oh, they said he's a bitch. So I had to Google, what is the spirit of the bitch? Wow. Low noises, holy noises, rhetoric, repetitive rhetoric. That is a distraction. There's more to it than just that. But it is embraced in our language. It's culturally acceptable to call somebody, oh, I'm a bad bitch. I'm a bad bitch. What if you say, I'm a bad witch? Call a thing. I'm a bad witch. I'm a money-making witch. I got this. You don't want to mess with this witch. I'll cast a spell on you. That's the truth that we're saying. Under the mask of the word bitch, you're really declaring you're a witch. What's up, my witches? We don't realize God uses this as a weapon to create and as a weapon to destroy. Watch your words. Watch your words. When I encountered that spirit, I began to hug and embrace this child. He would want hugs, but after the spirit was called out, he didn't want to touch me anymore. And we were always about holding hands, going to the lunch line, and he would rush up and grab my hand before anybody else. Now all of a sudden, now that the spirit has been called out, he didn't want to touch me. Don't touch me. I was like, oh, don't act like that. Don't be like that. You know I love you. By the wisdom of God and the help of the angels and the anointing, that spirit was under arrest. I don't know the future of that young boy, but I would always ask him, how many girlfriends you got? Because you know you handsome. He would smile and giggle. I just got one, or I've got two. I said, how many girls you talking to? I was declaring that this child was going to embrace the true identity given to him by God and not what people thought. You can come around somebody that has been in the room of smoke, and you can think that person is a smoker just because you smell smoke, cigarette smoke. That doesn't mean that they are smoking. So I knew he had to deal with an environment outside of school that was going to affect him. And I just prayed the covering. And every time I got an opportunity to see him, I would always laugh. And he would say, I love you, Dr. Best. And I said, I love you too. I would hug him. I said, how many girlfriends you got? And he would just laugh. We have the power to unleash the true identity of children, of others. And it's so important that we speak the message that God says and not the message what their manners say, not what Satan wants. You see, Satan wants a child to think that they are an identity that's not theirs, just as he said he wanted to be God and not an angelic host. We're going to talk about his transgender spirit. Next week, we're going to talk about incubus and succubus, sex spirits that are transitional. God loves you, and I do too. Please join me next week. We're going to call a thing a thing. We're going to call out these demonic forces, but watch your words. Don't call someone the B word. Call it what it is. You are a nasty witch. That's the only way we're going to get free. Change the language. Call it what it is. If someone you know is entangled with the stronghold of demonic stronghold of identity, because Satan is after the true identity of humans. He wants everyone to accept these man-created alternative genders that have no connection with God. God created a man and a woman. He did not create a transgender. He did not create a, I don't know, there's other names I'm not familiar with, but he did what he did because there was a purpose in identifying them specifically. A woman is a man with a womb. A man is a human without a womb. It's not hard. The woman is the nurturer. The man is the provider. And I'm not talking about materialistic things. He's a hunter by nature. He goes out and he pursues what is necessary to provide for his family. The woman can do the same because she's a man with a womb. So it's nothing wrong with women and men occupying the same positions. Just don't get your position confused with your identity and your gender. That's a hardworking woman. You don't have to be anything other than what God made you to be. Satan is after the productivity of the union of a man and a woman. It's under attack. And we can do whatever is necessary to make sure we embrace the purpose of God, the identity God has aligned with us. You can't change your identity and be a gender bender if God says you are wonderfully, beautifully made as a woman, and then you decide, I don't want to be a woman. God didn't make that decision, you did. God made you a powerful, procreative element as a man. I don't want to be a man. God made Lucifer, Satan, an angel of light. I don't want to be an angel. I want to be God. There's the root. Kill it.